Hi everyone, this is Amanda Potter, the webmaster at walkingthelethe.com and also the blogger at fallenkitten.com. And our pre-order is almost finished on volume 1 of Walking the Lethe, and so I want to encourage you to check that out. And I also wanted to share with you about our ISBN and barcode obtaining process here in the Netherlands. Your ISBN is the unique identifier for your book or each version of your book that you publish. And while you can obtain them through a print-on-demand service, that number will often be in the name of your print-on-demand service and not in your own name. And that can make it a little trickier to move off of that service and into your own printing production when you get to the point where you are publishing enough books to be able to do it on your own. So what we opted to do was to actually register as a publisher with the ISBN Bureau here in the Netherlands, so that we can get our own ISBN numbers to use on our books, regardless of what printer and printing options we decide to use. Now, ISBNs are an international number, so your number is unique no matter where you are in the world. At least your 13-digit one will be. However, every country requires that you register for your ISBN in their country if that's where you reside or do business. So because we do business in the Netherlands, I obtained our ISBN through the Dutch Bureau, as opposed to using the US services that are available. In your own country, the process will probably be a little bit different, but there might be things that are similar, and the costs also can be kind of all over the place, as well as sort of the rate of purchase that you have to do. Here in the Netherlands, I obtained our ISBN by going to isbn.nl, and that's a service that's offered through Central Boekhuis. That's the Central Book House. They're a distribution company here in the Netherlands, and they also handle the bureau. I'm not sure if you can obtain ISBNs through other companies. This just happens to be the one that was linked at isbn.nl, and so that's the one that I ended up using. There, I registered us as a company, Fallen Kitten Productions. I registered that. And then I also requested an ISBN for Volume 1 by offering them the information that they need, which is the titles, the authors, the illustrators, the size and shape of the book, that sort of thing. I also had to select an NUR code, which is sort of like a Library of Congress code. It lets people know where your book kind of falls in the subject category or subject matter. And because our book is really for teenagers and older, we decided that Walking the Lethe Volume 1 belonged in the Comics for Adults section. Now, here in the Netherlands, that doesn't mean comics that are pornographic. That just means comics that are not intended for children. And so I'm pretty happy with that selection. They actually have quite a few options, which I was a little surprised about. But interesting nonetheless. Well, my registration cost $58.58, and that's a one-time fee. I'll never have to pay that again as long as I'm publishing under this name of Fallen Kitten Productions. And then for that fee, they reserved 10 ISBNs for our use over the next several years, however long it takes us to use them. But we only have to pay for the ISBNs as we use them. So my ISBN cost is only about €10.29. And that's not too bad. In the US, my understanding is that you have to purchase a whole block at a time, which means you need to buy 10 at a time. That's just a little extra expense at one go, especially if you are like us, and we'll probably only be putting out 1 or 2 books a year. They sent me my registration confirmation in the email, as well as our 13-digit ISBN number. I was not given a 10-digit ISBN. And then billed us a little bit later via the mail. And of course, I paid that through bank statement or through a bank payment, just like everything else here in the Netherlands. The next thing I looked into getting was a barcode. Now, the barcode is, of course, that little funny square that you scan, that needs to be scanned by people in retail situations. And when I was going through the process of obtaining it, I'm like, well, of course I need a barcode. I have an ISBN, I should have one, right? And I kind of regret going through with that process because right now we're only publishing a very small print run, and we'll be selling them on our own, and we don't use a barcoding machine to sell product at conventions, not yet. So it's a little bit of an unnecessary expense if you're a small publisher like us. Also, if you're printing through a print-on-demand service, that company will probably provide their own barcode because they want something that they can use in their warehouses to keep track of your books compared to everybody else's books. So if you're doing a lot of stuff, go ahead and look into getting a barcode. If you're not printing a lot of books, maybe think about not doing it. Save that little extra space on your back cover. But if you are interested, this is what we used. I went through a company called Scanology.com, Scanology.nl, and they provided me with a EPS file of a guaranteed to work barcode for the cost of €22.61. It's €22.61, of course. That file was sent to me through my email, and I was able to embed it in a PDF. But because they do put a lot of DSM sort of stuff on their files, they also asked me to put them in contact with our printer in case the printers had a problem with that coming out properly. They were very good. I tried to communicate with them in Dutch at first, but my Dutch isn't good enough, really, so they switched over to English with no problem. So if you're like me and your Dutch language skills are poor, it's very easy to find somebody who can communicate with you in English enough that you both understand what's going on. Now, there are free alternatives to services like Scanology, but the free services will not guarantee your barcode, so you'll want to make sure that you check it before you go and print thousands of copies of your book. You really don't want a faulty barcode. It'll make the retailers unhappy. It'll make you unhappy, and it's just kind of a waste of ink. Our friend Dirk, who does Paradigm Shift, he suggested using a free alternative called Bookland. And I'll include the URL right down here. But that service, you plug in your ISBN number and a little bit of extra stuff, and that's all you need to have a barcode created for you. Again, I didn't end up using this because I got the information a little late, but in the future, I probably will take a look if I think I want to include a barcode but don't necessarily need one. Maybe on volumes 2 and 3. We'll see how that goes. As I said at the beginning of the video, Walking the Lethe Volume 1's pre-order will be done on the 19th of September. That's Sunday. So, we want to really encourage you to stop by walkingthelethe.com and order one of our books. This is a black and white interior, just like the comic is on the website, and with a color cover, extras in the back. It will be signed by Dan Potter, of course, and also includes a free month subscription to the supporter site and an Ask Astria Anything postcard, which allows you to ask Astria any question you want, and we will only send that answer to you, and I suppose anybody else who asks that question. So, walkingthelethe.com, the pre-order is only €15 plus shipping and handling, but it is over on Sunday, so please, please, please stop by, and if you're interested, pick up the book. Have a good day.